Good morning, one and all present here. Salutation to Almighty. My deepest salutation to Founder President Param Shraddheya Ma Radhadevi Ji Goenka for his great contribution for the welfare of women. Honorable President Bharatiya Seva Sadan and Institutions Innovation Council, Shri Diliprajji Goenka sir. Respected Principal Dr.Devendra Vyas sir, respected Vice Principal and Head Department of Commerce Dr.Ambadas Pande sir, today's speaker, respected Boda Arunkumar sir, all the faculty members, research scholars and dear students. I, Dr.Rupa Gupta, welcome you in one-day national level online workshop on design thinking, critical thinking and innovation design, jointly organized by Institutions Innovation Council and Department of Commerce of our college. I want to quote the quote of Steve Jobs, who very rightly said that innovation is the way to win. As we all know, each and every one of us wants to success in every walk of life. So, to achieve success, name, fame, critical thinking is a powerful seed which certainly provides solution of every problem, or we can say question. Because the another name of life is a struggle. Those who struggle, those who feel the struggle much more in their life, they are purifying more. And dear all, without innovation, creativity or intensive incentive for the improvement, those who initiate change will have a better opportunity to manage the change that is inevitable. With this, now I request respected Principal Sir to please bless us with your kind guidance. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
Sir, you are on mute.
Okay. Good morning, all of you. Our founder president, Shraddheya Mataji, my deepest salutation to her. Honorable President Diliprajji Goenka, who is always motivating us. I welcome Mr.Boda Arunkumar, who is today's speaker. All the faculty members, research scholars and students in this national online workshop on design thinking, critical thinking and innovation design. I must congratulate all the team members of IIC, especially Rupa Gupta ma'am, that they are taking very good efforts to running this IIC and they are actively involved in it. So I must congratulate one and all IIC members, our faculty members, especially the technical staff members, because without them, we could not succeed on this platform. As we all listen the common thing, we are nothing but the product of our thoughts. Whatever we think, we become. We all know this fact and reality that we have to use critical thinking with innovative manner and way so that we can develop ourselves as per the need of this competitive era. We will never become a great until our own thoughts make us great. And therefore, it is of the first importance that we have to think in right direction, on right time. Critical thinking is result of oriented and receptive process, where we can identify open-mindedness and strong justifiable arguments. As We know there are many successful entrepreneurs in India who became achiever because of their innovative design and critical thinking process. They respect their colleagues and subordinates. We have live examples of Dhirubhai Ambani, Kalpana Saroj, who is from our region, Birlaji, Tata companies. It's clear critical and design thinking give us rational and insightful result and upliftment. According to me, it is need of today's time. If we have critical thinking and curiosity, definitely we are creative and creative person is always going ahead with his or her aim. With this, my best wishes to all the participants and I welcome once again Mr. Boda Arunkumar for giving us such a nice time and I congratulate once again all the participants who are attending this national seminar. Thank you one and all.
Thank you so much, sir, for your blissful and magnificent speech. Thank you. Now, I request Khushi Khatri, the student of Department of Self-Learning, to introduce today's speaker, Arun Kumar, sir. Over to you, Khushi.
Thank you, ma'am, and namaste, everyone. Today, we have amidst us Mr. Arun Kumar Boda as the chief guest of honor. Excellently said that successful people aren't gifted. They just work hard and succeed on purpose. Such a personality who embodied hard work as a part and parcel of his character is respected Sir. Sir is an excellent trainer and has
मेरे को वो आना था ना
profound knowledge about
हेडफोन
e-commerce. He is blessed with the skills of communication, learning and
क्या चल
management
रहा है
skills,
लैब में
and also has excellence in data management and its accuracy. Currently, Sir is working with Flipkart India Private Limited as a senior learning partner and is handling South India learning and development operations. Previously, Sir was a senior learning associate and a learning associate at Flipkart. He has also worked with the Show Markers Enterprises Chennai as a regional training manager and KL Trust and LR Education Society as a master trainer and academic counselor. Talking about Sir's certification, he is a diploma in computer applications. Sir is also certified for being life skills coach and the internal auditor for Flipkart and also for receiving the trainer certificate for being an excellent trainer. Sir holds the proficiency of operating systems, that is, Windows, and also holds a great knowledge about the hardware by being well up to date about it. Sir is MSc in Psychology and MBA in HR and SCM. He is a multilingual person who knows to speak English, Hindi, Telugu, Kannada, and Lambi, which is a spoken Banjari language. As a part of his achievements, he has participated in Asia Book of Records as a senior counselor and also in India Books of Records as a counselor. Sir has also been the achiever of WOW Awards twice, which is an internal award of Flipkart. Also highlighting, he played a key role of being in the training program conducted by Lead India 2020 Foundation. Also, his role is in developing human qualities and mental abilities in the students by programs conducted by Lead India Foundation. Sir has deep love for the sports of hockey as his participation in the State Tribal
इधर
Hockey
click करना
Championship and State Hockey Championship succeeds as he bands the first and third prize in it. He also has membership with NGOs such as Manojagriti Foundation, Pragna, and Led India 2022 Foundation. He plays a vital role of being a technical advisor, a board member and counselor, and along with it, a program designer and TOT trainer. Besides this, the very fact which dignifies his personality is his passion for continuous learning and his innovative thinking ideas. We, the RDGNs, feel blessed to have you over here, sir. Looking forward for your precious words. Thank you. Over to you, sir.
Welcome, sir. We are very fortunate that such a versatile personality we have. Sir, welcome. Please.
Thank you so much, Principal Sir, and thank you so much for introduction, Kushi. Uh, it's pleasure to me to have this meeting and this connect in this workshop with the college such as precious college, and as we are supporting together to the women's here, and we as Kushi mentioned, so we support the NGOs where we also focus more into the women's empowerment and women's development and girl child education and their development in the various sectors. So I'm very happy to having this meeting and supporting to these team members on the students of this college to having and sharing the knowledge on the design thinking and critical thinking and the innovation design. Yeah, thank you. So can I start the session?
Yes, sir. Please continue.
Okay, fine. So that's great. So I'll present my screen. So you may see that key. So I can't see you all as I'm presenting the screen from my desktops. Okay. If you have any questions during the session, so please let me know your name and the question so I can identify. Okay. Fine. Hope my screen is visible and my voice is clear to everyone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
I
please.
recommend to all the students. So it's not the one-way communication that I'm lecturing and you are listening. So wherever you have doubt, you can pause and you can ask the questions. And so wherever I ask the questions, you can answer these things also. So it is about the understanding the design thinking and critical thinking. So innovation designs comes with the design thinking. So that's the reason. So we will be morely discussing with the design thinking and the critical thinking. So we will be discuss very basic things as we do all these activities like design thinking and the critical thinking in our day-to-day life. We just analyze that what we are doing and will understand from the basic, and we can how can we improvise this design thinking and critical thinking in our professional life. And also we'll talk about that key how we can define the design thinking in our profession, that key how we can apply these design thinking concepts in the organizations, in the workplace, and also critical thinking how we can apply these things in the workplace. So basic talks about will talk on these parameters also. So as part of this session, so we will be discussing like what is design thinking and the principles of design thinking and the process steps to approach the design thinking, and also we will be discussing what is critical thinking and how it is important the critical thinking as a human being for us in a day-to-day life as a personality wise and also in the professional life, and also we'll be discussing about how to develop this critical thinking to take proper a right decision in our day-to-day life. Okay, moving towards so
रिमूव कर दो उसको.
understanding about the design thinking. As I mentioned, so design thinking comes with the innovation, creation, and the collaboration. These are the key principles we can talk and we can consider, because without these three things, there is no design thinking, there is no design. Okay, let's understand that the basics things. The question to all the students, so you can answer. So in a day-to-day life, will you think that we are applying this design thinking? Yes, no? Okay. So how many of you are traveling to your college from home over the bus by using the bus? So people can say yes, no. So by that I can understand. So many people are very less, or you are not traveling over the bus. Okay. So I request participants that my dear students, so you can unmute and you can answer if possible. Okay. Then so I can think that so you are interacting with me, and so we can have the good conversation and understanding over the concepts. Okay. So design thinking.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So design thinking, we are applying in our day-to-day life. To understand the design thinking as a concept, let's take in a story. Okay. So I'm taking example of one name with the name of Rani. Okay. So Rani comes daily to the college. Okay. And she wakes up in the morning, and she goes to the bus stop, and she take her bus, and she goes to the reach to the college. Assume that Rani wakes up in the morning at 5 a.m. And when we wake up in the morning, we need to do a lot of things, like we need to go for the walk. And if we have a dog, okay, baby dog, then we need to take the dog to the walk, and we need to bring the milk, and we need to again prepare ourselves, and we need to prepare if required food also. Okay. And we need to make ready ourselves and things to be collected. Okay. Then go to the bus stop. Okay. Then pick up the bus and then move. Assume that in this process, okay, Rani is doing all these activities, okay, every day, and she reaches to the bus stop at 9 o'clock. And so sometimes, very oftenly, she is missing buses regularly, basically, whereas she needs to reach by 9:30 to her college, and she exactly reaching at 9 o'clock. In this process cycle, as I mentioned, she is waking up, and she is preparing herself, and she is taking her baby dog to walk, and she also going for the walk, and also she is again coming back to home, and she is going for the again bringing milks, again coming back again. So she is preparing herself to go to the college. Then she is going to the bus stop, then picking she is taking her bus, then going in this cycle. So as she is missing every day, so more oftenly her bus, because she is doing so many things. And one fine day, she is thinking that key, so how I can catch my bus on time. Okay. So what we can do, so what she can do here, so she is thinking in that way, and she replanned her activity, such as like she is going a walk, okay, and she is coming back. Again, she is going back to the to take she's taking her baby dog and for the walking, and coming back to home, again going back to the shop to bring the milk, again coming back. So she collaborated some other activities, such as like going to the while taking her dog to the walk. At the time of returning from there, she's also picking the milk. So she planned this activity, and also as she has the family members, she shared some of the tasks where her family members also can be done. Okay, by doing replanning of this activity, she is reaching her bus stop at 10 minutes early. So whereas she is not missing her bus. So she implemented this activity, this plan, whatever she planned, and now she is regularly catching her bus on time, and she is not getting late to the college. Okay. So this is an example that I am picking. Okay. So she's applied design thinking concept here without knowingly. So these are the things that we are doing in our activities, that mean in our day-to-day work life. These design thinking principles we are applying, and without knowing, basically. So we need to think that, so what are the things, that various things we are doing, and we are replanning to things to do in a better way. So there are so many ways, so there are so many processes, there are so many activities we do routinely. Okay. And to bring more effectiveness in those activities, okay, to bring more productivity, or it could be to bring more performance. Okay, if we are replanning and rethinking, and then we are applying it, and if it is succeed, then we are continuing with the same. If we are not, and we are replanning again, that key what kind of mistakes that is made done. Okay. So this is how the design thinking works, basically. So there is a problem, and the design thinking that we are thinking here, it's not we are thinking as a design thinking, but we are thinking there, we are putting some sorts of thoughts over that problem, then making it a solution. So basically what we are doing, analyzing the problem and thinking it towards the solution with the design thinking is nothing but your design thinking concept. It's a concept basically. It comes with the idea when you are thinking its idea and your creativity, and we need to bring the collaboration towards in the design thinking process. Of course, we also do that piece because the most of the time, so we also discuss these thought processes or the replanning things with your family members, with your friends or colleagues or your faculties. Then sometimes you take decisions. Before taking decisions, you collect the ideas basically. So all these are happening. It means, so we are doing the design thinking. So design thinking is not only the thing that what the gadgets are getting updated, okay, through the design thing, what engineering is working, okay, on the designing the buildings or the designing the fashion dresses, okay. It is not only that things. It is beyond that. There are so many things. In very small things, we are applying these concepts without knowingly and perfectly. Hope we are clear on the understanding of the design thinking. So design thinking concepts require certain qualities when we go for the professional way. Okay, certain qualities means that, as I mentioned, of course, innovation, creativity, and collaboration you're doing still now also in your day-to-day life. When you're replanning your activities, you're doing still those things, but it requires something. So key features, key fundamentals, as a principle that we talk. So here, like, when we are thinking the design thinking, thinks on the problem could be anything. Like, for example, if I take an example, so a old woman, okay, she's working with the computer, okay, while working on the computer, and the old lady, while working on the computer, she's using a mouse, okay, and her hand is shaking basically while using the mouse because they are old in the age, and she is finding difficult to utilize that mouse. Hope you all are using computers, yes, no? Because I'm taking an example of the computer and the mouse. Students can say yes, no?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for the answer. So whenever I'm giving questions, please respond it. It states that we are alert and we are together. Okay. Otherwise, I feel
Okay,
like
sir.
I'll just speaking, okay, and you kept on mute, okay. So that should not be the case. So here, so I'm taking an example of like a old lady using in a computer, okay, and she's using also mouse. At the time of using the mouse, she is using, but her hands are shaking. At the time of shaking, since her hands are shaking, the mouse pointer is not concentrated. Whenever she want to click on a particular point, she's not able to click. So that's the problem statement. Okay. So here, when I talk about the human centric, okay, it means we need to think in an empathy way, basically. So we need to get into the shoes of the user and understand their painful. Okay. So that's how. So we should be human centered. And at the time of thinking towards the design thinking, when you're thinking or picking a problem, okay, ensure that get into the completely in deep what a user is facing different issues. Of course, we'll discuss more into the detail in upcoming slides, but these are the key elements where the design thinker should look into that, and these are the basic rules basically. Then the collaborative work. So when we are a design thinker, okay, and today also we are doing collaborative work, as I mentioned in the previous slide, that key. So we are discussing when there is a problem statement with the friends, colleagues, or the family members or the faculty members. Of course, that much should be work. Collaborative work will work in your design thinking. Otherwise, it can't be the design thinking. It won't called as a design thinking. Okay, and visualize and show it. Okay, you need to visualize what could be the solution. Okay, and you need to visualize in a bigger way with the different ideas, whatever you collected from your collaborative work. Okay, and the learning by doing. We have to learn while doing. So keep on learning, keep on doing. Okay, repeatedly. So once, it is not that we should not stop that key, so a problem to solve ho gaya, okay, then again you should think that key how we can better, how we can do the betterment of those. So that's all. So we can do those things by learning many things basically. So, and these are the basic thing or principles, we can call it as that. So a design thinkers must need. So there are so many other principles, all also there, defined by the different scientists and the professionals. So I am just picked up the very few things which a design thinker can do and follow the basic principles to design anything basically. So moving to next, mindset of the design thinker, which is very important. So you should be open to your heart, hands, and your head. You should be open-minded all the time. Bring the ideas, allow the ideas in your mind, allow the people to talk to you on the things that what you are working on, the problem statement, and think in a systematic way, discuss with them. Okay, when you are open your head, then only you can do all these things. So design thinker must have all these basic parameters, okay, and the hot on. So you should empathized, you should be empathized towards the problem statement, towards the user, okay. If you are thinking on like example about your mom, okay, your mom is she's working from morning to evening, so many things, okay, and she's not taking a rest, okay, and so she wake up in the morning 5 o'clock, and she again sleep in the, she will sleep at the end in the night, so probably 10, 11 that, okay. Between the period she's doing so many of works, she's not getting time to take her rest also. So you want to solve a problem that she needs some break in the middle also, okay, and you want to define that. So okay, so if she gets like allowed for the 1 to 2 hours of the break, then she will be more energized, okay. You want to solve that problem, then you need to get into her shoes, that what are the different activities that she's doing in kitchen. She pick up so many things, okay. Sometimes she misses also that ki, so कौन सा item कहाँ रखा है, खुल सकते हैं, there are opportunities, okay. So you can think in the design way, okay, and put it into the proper way by using the various concepts which has like 5S like shining. So putting all the things in a all proper way by giving the namings, boardings, everything. So these are the different ways basically. So we can think through that. So we will get those ideas when we get into their shoes. That is nothing but empathize the hot on. Hands on. So hands on is in getting ideas and asking friends and the colleagues and the team members when we are working as a collaborative. Okay, as I mentioned in the previous slides also. So getting the ideas and refining them, those ideas, finding the which one is the best one and the suitable one. So these are the basic mindset where the design thinker has. So when we are going to this generation, the world, the industry is that looking, okay. Industry is looking for the problem solvers, okay. The people, the problem solving must be like, again, it's not the temporary problem solving, okay. It is must be a like permanent solving kind of thing. And of course so when the generation goes, when industries is upgraded, okay, when the technology is upgrading, of course these ideas, the processes what we placed, okay, that can be refined. But initially when we go through the design thinking way, when we apply the solution in the process of design thinking, so that thing will be sustained for more time, okay. When the things are changed in the industry, of course we will refine that one, but till that time that will be become a permanent solve, okay. So hope you are understood what kind of the mindset should we have if you want to become a design thinker. Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
Very good. So moving to the next. So so we talked about, you now understood the what is design thinking, and you understood that. So knowingly, unknowingly, you are applying in your
पास
day-to-day life
करना
your
ना
design
फटाफट.
thinking. Okay. Now you understood that also that what kind of mindset a design thinker must have. Okay. And also you understood that so what are the basic principles
Last
a
में.
design thinker requires. So we are applying our design thinking. We are applying our thought processes to solving the problems or updating the problem statement or the processes that what we are having in a day-to-day life or the routine works you replanning and recreating. Okay. we are doing, as I mentioned that, so you are thinking, that means there is a problem statement and thinking on it, on the solving that. So if you do in a proper approach, if you do in a proper approach way, so you will get exactly so solution, and also you define exact issues, and you satisfy more your customers or your users, or the solution to whom you are doing, okay, they will get more satisfied. So it has certain processes, okay. So I just presented here. So these are the approach. Like there are 5 stages in this approach: that empathy, then define stage, then ideate, and the prototype, and the test. Okay. So initial stage like empathy and define. Okay, these are the 2 stages where we are working on the problem statement. Okay, when we look for the like prototype and the test, so these are the 2 stages where we are working on the solution piece. Okay, so here we need to understand each parameter. Okay, that means empathy. So we need to understand in little bit in deep what it mean empathy. Empathy is not that somebody is feeling bad and going and saying sorry. It is something that more than that empathy means. Okay, we need to get into their shoes and understand their painful areas. Okay, and then you think, that is defining stage. Of course it comes. So we will get into the detail. I just to understand more in detail, so I just kept the each stage ke liye few slides, like two slides, to understand in better way. So we'll hope you are clear on this. So there are 5 stages. We'll understand at the last stage that key how these stages will work. Let's get into that. So empathy. Looking at the image itself, that you might think that, so the boy is empathizing to other boy who's crying. Okay, so here we are understanding the issue of the user, that means issue of the person to whom we are working, or what problem statement that we are working. Okay, so ensure that we should ask the question, as many as questions related to the problem statement. ऐसा नहीं कि भाई कैसे हो, क्या हो, ये कैसा हुआ है. Okay, so not like that. Okay, we need to ask exactly what the user or the what the problem statement, जो भी problem statement face कर रहा है, who are facing the problem statement. So we can ask the as many as questions related to the problem statement. ताकि so for that key, so you will get as much as many questioners to analyze the problem statement and to get the more ideas to fix this problem statement. Okay, so there are several things are there. So to do that, we need to observe. So when we are observing, it is like, so what they are doing, okay, and how they are doing, okay, and what are the like ways that they are doing. Okay, these things by observing we can catch the, and we can make the notes from the by looking at like by understanding the problem statement. Then while asking the questioners, will get into the deeper and deeper. Okay, we need to get into the deeper and deeper, and we need to empathize that and make it notes and the questions of all these. Hope we are clear. Yes, no, I'm checking. We are okay. Great,
Yes.
great. Fine. So we need to feel and allow our mindset to understand the painful areas. Okay, and what they want exactly. As a design thinker, we should think what they want is exactly. ऐसा नहीं कि मेरा मन का कुछ किया हो एंड मैंने उसको दे दिया, भाई आपको प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व हो गया, आप ये यूज करो. इट्स नॉट लाइक दैट. If they are not satisfied with the end result, so we need to rework again. That means the जो भी whatever the activities we do, whatever the work and the time we invest, that will be not give the proper results. So we need to get into their shoes. I mean to say, as I mentioned, we need to feel that the exact pains, and we need to ask the questions, and we need to allow our mindset to understand the things at the user perspective view. So to do all these things, so you can put up these kind of like box. Okay, and so what are the problem statement when I talk about the tasks and the goals? So you can mention the problem statements and what kind of solution that you are thinking to bring. Okay, and the insights. So when you are asking the questions, so you getting some sense, okay, feelings, sense from the user. So those are the insights. Okay, you need to make a note of all those things. Then, so we need to understand the painful areas of the user. That means, so we need to understand that key, how much time he is taking. He might be thinking on the that key. So to do this particular activity where I am getting only 10 rupees, but I am investing more time. Okay, so that is could be the one painful area. Okay, and he is thinking more on it ताकि हम उसको ऑटोमेटेड कैसे कर सकते हैं, instead of thinking that he need to remember so many pointers to do that particular activity. He tend to forget sometimes, so उसको solve करना है. So how we can do the customization or the automation, how we can make this visualization, and there is no required for the remembering all these points in his mind to do those processes. Okay, so and then how much we, okay, and then you think towards the solutions. Okay, and what could be the other areas, go in the reverse thinking process. So if you think some solution, okay, then you are also need to go to the reverse thinking that key. So there are pros and cons in every activity that we do. Okay, what could be the negative areas, okay, what could be the cons, okay, we need to make a note also those pointers. This will give that the brief idea. So that means you are collecting information to define your problem statement in the empathy stage. And remember, students, that so being a design thinker, as I mentioned, there are 5 stages. So you should think only the first stage when you are thinking. If you are thinking on the empathy, you should be completely on the empathy and do not think about the other next step. What could be the next step? अगर मैं ये thought आ रहा है, ये solution आ रहा है, ये solution कैसा हो सकता है? We will think that piece in the define stage, not in the empathy stage. Okay, so that is the basic and primary rule that we should keep in mind while thinking, while approaching, and while inculcating ourselves this design thinking process. Okay, so hope you are clear on the empathy and what is empathy and what we do in the empathy in the first phase of design thinking. Yes, no?
Yes, Bolo.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions here?
Sushi, you can ask.
Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, if you have a question, you can ask, no problem, on the empathy stage. Okay. So moving to the next. So hope we are clear. So what is empathy? As I mentioned, the empathy is understanding the user, okay? And getting into their shoes, all the painful areas, and we made a note. Now moving to the defined stage. The defined stage, it is give you, as we are in the empathy stage, we collected the information and we understood the problem statement. Okay. Now we need to observe the context. We need to build the context. We need to again arrive to the context. So मैं क्या कर सकता हूँ, क्या करूँगा? Okay, ये problem statement को solve करने के लिए क्या कर सकते हैं हम? Okay, we need to define that clearly, because see, the most of the time in our day-to-day life also, we think so many things, okay, and we tend to do so many activities in certain time. Like for example, I'm just talking about the shopping. Okay, when we go to the shop to buy a clothes, okay, there are so many designs, and we at the time of going to the shop, okay, or shopping mall to purchase the clothes, we may have certain pointers. मुझे क्या चाहिए, okay? That piece you are clear. But after looking at the like so many things, we may get confused that ki, this is also good, that is also good. So our mindset tend to say that कि मुझे ये भी अच्छा लग रहा है, वो भी अच्छा लग रहा है, वो भी अच्छा लग रहा है. But हमारे लिए बजट है सिर्फ एक लेने के लिए. ये क्या कर सकता हूँ? बार्गेन में स्टार्ट हो जाते हैं sometimes. Okay. So here in the design thinking phase, that is defined stage mein, so we were having so many things. Okay, we are having so many things that ki so hamare paas so many problem statements, so many painful areas hai. So usko all those areas, all those painful areas ko, so we need to put onto the paper and we need to put onto the notes that ki so we need to define the object, the outcome. क्या चाहिए मुझे? Okay, as I mentioned the problem
नीचे
statement earlier with the old lady. Okay, as she's using her mouse, okay, as उसको shake हो रहा है, and we need to define that कि उसको problem statement था कि so even if the mouse pointer shakes, okay, her hand is shaking along with the mouse pointer is shaking, so there could be a chance that कि हम उसका screen visualization बड़ा कर दे, ताकि if mouse even shakes, so within the like less than in 1 inch, okay, so when you are increasing the size of the monitor, okay, so that means within the 1 inch the pointer will be there. That could be one thinking that. So of course we will get into the next step that comes into the next step. So that means you want to solve the issue of the old lady. So whereas she is shaking her hand and the mouse भी shake हो रहा है उसके साथ साथ, that kind of. So here we are defining the state. So to come to that, so as I mentioned, so as we collected the information in the empathy, and we need to put into the proper format. So here is the one of the format that I use in my day-to-day business life. So I kept the same as an example for your better understanding. Okay. So we need to understand the user. If the users, like as I mentioned, an example of like old lady and having problem with the mouse with the shaking hands. Okay. So you are connected with the different users. So you made a note of those all the users' names, and so you discuss with them what are the points that you discussed. Okay, and the insights that by the observations and what they are doing. So what are the observations that you made? Okay, make a note of all this and collect the information here. So defining may we are collecting the moreover the information and putting in a standard format to identify proper problem statement. Of course इसमें से problem statement भी हमको मिल जाएगा. That means हमारा objective, the end objective will be clear. Okay, so I'll give the real time scenario also, like when you madam, so Deepa madam approached me. Okay, so we should have one session on this particular area. Okay, so then she given a thought. Okay, then I understood that key. So then I asked couple of question her. So who are the users? That means the audience. Okay, and what they need, what they grade. Okay, what they are studying. Okay, who will be the participants. So these are the information that I collected myself. Okay, when we talk about the design thinking, so it is huge content. Okay, बहुत सारा रहता है उसमें. So but it is not works. So for the same content for the all the audience, I need to identify and define to the exactly what my audience are required. Okay, so this is given couple of answers for all my questions, and I made a note of all those things. Okay, that means so I am understood the. I try to think that key I came in your shoes, that key as a student. So what could be the my knowledge level? Okay, and on the design thinking, and what it could be the expectation for me when I am attending the a design thinking session. Okay, I made a note, and then I after making a note, that is a defined stage, then I moved into the next stage, that is of course we are coming ideation, it is called as collaborative. So I discuss with the various students who has around me. Of course that we will discuss in the next slide. So hope we are clear about the design thinking, the defined stage. It is more about that key putting in a proper format whatever the information we collected, and getting into the clear objective that what we want to do. Okay, so that means हमको किस problem को solve करना है. So that we are getting into the conclusion in the defined stage. Hope we are clear here. Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
That's
Yes,
great.
sir.
Okay.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
thank you. So now next stage is the ideation. Okay, ideation is nothing but, as I mentioned, the one of the key thing, that key. So in the first slide of the design thinking, that key innovation, creation, and collaboration. So ideation comes with the collaboration. Okay, the most of the design thinkers, okay, tend to fall into the some wrong practices. वो जानबूझ के नहीं करता है, वो क्या बोलते हैं, ह्यूमन टेंडेंसी वैसा रहता है. Okay, even we do that. So some idea we have, okay, and you want to solve that. Okay, हमारा mindset चलता है ना, कैसा बोले तो even some people follows that. Most of the people in student life में मैं भी follow करता था. Okay, kind of that, ये काम मुझे ही करना चाहिए, इसको बेहतर करना चाहिए, और मेरा मैडम को, मास्टर जी को बताना चाहिए, then I'll get the appreciation. I don't want give the same appreciations to others. ये मेरा पूरा मेरा ही मेहनती से करना है. So I have to do only my alone. That's. But when you go the design thinker view in the ideation stage, you must need to collaborate with the other your friends, colleagues, family members who think you that you will get the support from this person. वो person से support मिलता है. Who think you? Okay, you need to ask them. You need to collaboratively work with them. Okay, इसमें so you may put couple of questions that if you already defined stage में you got all the questionnaires. Okay, go and discuss with them. So rapid fire questions. These are the problem in statement. If you are there, so what you will do? क्या कर सकते हैं? Ideas. Okay, it is nothing but generating the idea. So when you are getting more ideas, that means आपको problem solve करने के लिए बहुत सारा scope बड़ा होता है. So get into the rapid fire questions. Okay, ask the questions to them. Okay, instantly the thought whatever it is coming. Okay, make a note of those things. Okay, पूरा छोटा छोटा चिटिया बना के पूरा वॉल पे रख दो. Okay, and then speed mind mapping. Okay, then so you yourself think into their shoes. Okay, and as you are already empathized. Okay, ताकि इसको idea generate करो अभी. ताकि so initial empathy stage में we are not generated any ideas. We just collected the information. Here we need to think about the वो information से वो particular question को how you generate the ideas. So speed mapping से you just think that कि so this is a problem statement. As I mentioned example that कि old lady has the problem. उसको क्या कर सकते हैं? मेरे mind में immediately thought आया कि so इसको screen बड़ा कर सकते हैं. Make a note, bigger screens. Okay, and so we can make fixed like mouse को move नहीं करना वहाँ constantly रख सकते हैं. And we can programming कर सकते हैं इसको ताकि so 1 to 2 inches में कहाँ भी move हुआ हो तो that should be in the same state ताकि वही pointer पे रह सके. These are the instant ideas. Then the think reversely. अगर ये मैं idea कर दिया तो so अगर वो नहीं किया तो what could be the consequences? Okay, अगर ये problem सही नहीं किया तो if I'm not doing this problem solving then what could be the other consequences? इसको क्या क्या problem statements हो सकता है? Think in the reverse thing. अगर कर दिया तो what could be the other ways? And industry swap. That means it is nothing but so what industries are gonna thinking on this way. बोलो तो for example there are some best practices industries also does. So Flipkart has, Amazon has. When I talk about the e-commerce industry, and so there are so many industries that we have. Okay, and what industries is practicing? बोलो तो Flipkart कैसे process follow कर रहा है to get the customer delight. Customer satisfaction more. Okay, and Amazon क्या follow करता है? Okay, and Snapdeal क्या follow कर रहा है? Okay, so ये e-commerce में so example I am telling basically. Then also if you have any other ideas also X person क्या follow करता है? So for example as I taken an example to understand the design thinking in the initial stage that Rani is wake up and वो process पूरा follow कर रही थी. Okay, plan according to her daily plan. And also she can think that what other lady or other student is doing to reach the school. Okay, proper school को जाने के लिए वो क्या कर सक रहे हैं? So वो क्या कर रहे हैं? Okay, you can thinking through that. Okay, other student how they are reaching to the school or college on time. Sometimes we also like get the score low. Okay, अगर दूसरा student को score ज्यादा आ रहा है तो so वो क्या क्या activities कर रहा है and दूसरा student को low आ रहा है तो वो क्या क्या activities कर रहा है. So which point that triggering him or her to get the more score is swiping basically. So understanding in the different lenses. Okay, and also we can do the brainstorming. Okay, so brainstorming करने के लिए to do the brainstorming so we need to set up certain team members and brainstorming can't be done by one person. Okay, we need to collaborate with the team. It could be more than one person. That means 2 members भी brainstorm कर सकते हैं, more than 2 members. Okay, and get into the same problem statement. So define जो भी हमने objective किया है define stage में जो भी problem statement दिया है we need to think on that and we so put the problem statement among the team member. Okay, then ask the question relevant questions to the problem statement and get the ideas generated from the individual. And ensure that while doing the brainstorming, do not dominate. Okay, allow your mind to openly take all the ideas and put it on a paper and ये पूरा चिटिया बना के, as I mentioned, so put on the wall. So place all these sticky notes, use the sticky notes and place on the wall. Now read one by one, one by one, one by one, and as a group, okay. And you need to again finalize one idea which can be implemented. Okay, the finalization or selecting the idea, that idea which makes you to solve the problem of the user. The idea should be delightful. बोले तो if you solve that particular problem through that idea, your user should be delightful, happy रहना चाहिए, experienced, बहुत अच्छा experience आना चाहिए उसको. So you have to think, keep all these pointers in your mind, okay, and ensure that once you select the idea, after that, then the next stage को हम move होना चाहिए. Okay, so we discussed about the first stage, as we discussed, that is empathy. The second stage, that is your defining stage, and the third stage we are ideation, that is generating the idea, creating the idea in the collaborative manner. Okay, now we got the idea. So that, as I mentioned, example of old lady, उसका hand shake हो रहा है, okay, ताकि मैंने एक idea generate कर लिया हूँ. So there are so many ideas, and one of the idea that I picked up, मेरा screen को बड़ा करना है and the mouse को उसको design में change करना है. Okay, mouse का so जो भी shape है उसको बदलना है ताकि so that can't be move बोल के मैंने सोचा हूँ. Then the next stage is your stage is prototype. इस stage में, in this stage, what we do, we need to create a prototype. एक sample नमूना बनाना है हमको. Okay, एक नमूना बनाना है. So whereas we can create a prototype basis on the thought which you selected, basis on the idea that you selected. Okay, and use the material. ऐसा नहीं कि मुझे पास missionaries नहीं है सर, मैं कैसा बना सकता हूँ. ऐसा नहीं कि so sir I don't know the electronic items, मेरे पास electronics नहीं है, मैं नहीं कैसा कर सकता हूँ. First put the idea into the shape. Okay, so for example, as I mentioned the old lady concept, so आप वहाँ, so you can do with a soap, एक नमूना तो बना लो. Okay, use the material whatever it is available, pen, pencil, sticky notes, papers and the plasters, okay, whatever that, okay, and soaps जो भी घर में जितना भी है, okay, you can bring चावल भी एक बॉक्स में रख के उसको पूरा भन के भी हम बना सकते हैं. So don't stop yourself, okay, whatever it is available, okay, you make a prototype and then you try it and feel that कैसा हो रहा है, and go to your users. Okay, do not tell that कि so ये आपके लिए बनाए हो, ये solve करो, ये कैसा है वो कैसे, compare करो, ask the user to use it. Okay, prototype को बताओ. Okay, if prototype is okay, then if you want to redesign कर सकते हैं, then you can do that. Once the prototype is okay, then we need to move to the next testing stage, that कि उसका real time में बना के, so एक sample, 2 samples बना के, we need to hand over this to the end user and see that how the user is using. You have already notes of the in the empathize stage में पहले product जो भी use करता था user and how we feel. Okay, अपने पास notes है पूरा. Then once you design the prototype and when you are giving for the test, okay, and you also observe in the same angle, empathize stage में जाके understand that कि is there any painful areas कुछ कम हुआ है, user experience कुछ बढ़ा है कि नहीं, that means so user is feeling better than the previous one. Okay, you need to get into all those things and take the feedback. It is important. Okay, test stage and test stage में हमको feedback लेना है, ये कैसा काम कर रहा है, will you accept it, इसके साथ आपको productivity बढ़ रहा है कि नहीं, इसके साथ आपके ज्ञान बढ़ रहा है कि नहीं, if you follow this particular process. Okay, if it is fine and there are minor or major improvements करना है, take the feedback, make it and again start from the empathy stage से, so उसके क्या क्या बदल सकता है, improvise कर सकता है, that process continues. Okay, this is how we work on the defined stages, on the test stage, and your product is ready, of course delivered, and you are working again from the design empathy stage to redefining the existing product. So this is all about the design thinking approach: empathy, define, ideate, prototype, and the test. How the industry is using this? Industry also using this concept at every level, every stage. Okay, so when we go to the bigger organization, what happens there? There are so many processes that they do. Okay, so many activities. So you are using in a mobile application. Okay, on your mobile phone, it could be an app, it could be a mobile phone, it could be functionality. There the design thinking applications comes there. Okay, so एक देखो मान लो, so you want to use your mobile phone. Okay, how the design thing applied there? So so there is a process for that defined. Taki, so initially the process defined हुआ है कि so when we switch on the mobile, we'll press the button. Okay, as soon as the button presses, the mobile switched on. We are getting some experience, good experience there. So all these processes are defined basically. So in industry, so to for any activity, to do any activity, any process, okay, they put into the process steps basically. So starting यहाँ से होता है, next step यहाँ होता है, next step वहाँ होता है, and every industry today they are using, they are having, every industry having their own standards, like procedures, standard SOP. It is in called process are came and designed through the design thinking way only. Okay, so when you are a good design thinker, you can fit into the any role in the organization, and every role demands the design thinking approach to solve the permanent problem in the whatever the issues or the function जो भी industry में है, to solve those areas basically. Okay, so hope we are clear on the design thinking. Any questions? Yes, no?
No, sir.
Okay, fine. So as we are running with the time, so I'm just speed up kar diya tha. Okay, if you are good to go, then we'll get into the our next topic, as we called as a critical thinking. So here innovation design. So innovation of design is inculcated in the design thinking process only. Okay, when you are getting the ideas, is nothing but you are thinking innovatively. Okay, you are thinking creatively, you are trying to bring something new, okay, by to solve that particular problem. It is nothing but your innovative thinking in the design process. Oh, we are clear on this piece? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
That's great.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now we are moving to the our very important topic, which is critical. Many of you that agree that we are also, sir, applying this design critical thinking on everyday life. Yes, no? Kitne आप लोग, how many you are that agreeing that you are applying in a day-to-day life? How many yes comes that it means बहुत ज़्यादा people are agreeing on the statement. If no means very less people are agreeing on the statement. You can say yes, no.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's great then. Okay, so here I'll just keep it very simple. Okay, design thinking that we very well know. Just reiterating here. Sorry, critical thinking is we very well know. Just reiterating here that you are going to a shop, as I mentioned in the one of the example in the design thinking. We want to purchase a clothes, and we went to shopping mall. Okay, and then we seen so many things. Okay, here we are applying our thought process into the critical thinking. इधर हम critical think ज़्यादा use करते हैं उसमें. Why? Because there are so many designs that it is available there, and you want to, and you have less budget. You want to pick up very few things from them, whereas you can't buy or you can't take all things. Okay, and your critical thinking comes here into the defining that key decision making. आपको डिसीजन करना है, वहां डिसीजन लेना है. ओके, सो यू थिंक थ्रू द वेरियस प्रोसेसेस. इसमें क्या है, चॉइसेस. यू विल स्टार्ट विद द चॉइसेस. So these, so there are 100 items are there. You will pick up then the first best one. Okay, and you think through your budget, and you think your through your interested. You think through your like cultural भी मुझे कौन सा चाहिए. Some people like jeans, some people like chudidars, some people like in the some other model. Okay, So you go through your choices. After collecting all that, so whichever is matching with your budget and your idea and your interest and your taste, okay, then you'll finally pick up those things, okay, and you buy it. So to selecting a cloth, okay, whatever you likes, so वो select करने में जो भी process हुआ है in your mind ना, that is nothing but your critical thinking. And we do all those things in every day and most of the time in our day to day life. हर एक घंटे को हम करता है critical thinking. Okay, there could be a problem, may not problem. Okay, so but हमको decision make करने के लिए to take a decision, okay, we think through that critical thinking. Okay, so define the critical thinking as a statement. Like critical thinking, we analyze the with available facts and evidences that we do observe and arguments from, and we also judge करते हैं हम, we also do the judge. All these are the components which comes into the critical thinking. Okay, as I mentioned an example that shopping mall को गया हूँ, मैं analyze कर रहा हूँ, I am thinking that कि with the available facts, it is nothing but my budget, my interest, my taste, my culture, मुझे क्या चाहिए, those things. With those are the available facts, and with that you are analyzing the selection piece, okay, and you are observing also, okay, and then you are making a decision. It is nothing but you taking a judgment there. Okay, analyzing the information so we can make better judgment or the decision is nothing but your critical thinking. In simple word में हम critical thinking को we can just हम define कर सकते हैं as a definition. Okay, so it involves all the key skills which we have, like logical thinking, reasoning, creativity, okay, and again, so sometimes we also ask the feedback to the our colleagues, wrong बोल के ऐसा. So we get the information also and we understand things in the better way. Problem statement, so that means so आपको क्या चाहिए, so that is your end thing. Okay, so you inculcate all these things and you take a decision. So while you are inculcating all this thing and going through all these parameters is nothing but you are doing in your critical thinking. But sometimes what happens, a critical thinking, so of course we are applying in our day-to-day life, but of course there are various processes also, like evaluate karte hai. These are the additional skills that we apply while doing the critical thinking, reasoning, evaluating, problem solving, and the decision making, analyzing. If you want to like move, if you want to say that कि आपको अच्छा critical thinking बनना है, you should be like more stronger and stronger critical thinking, ताकि आप जैसा भी critical बोलते अच्छा think करके when you take a right decision, there should not be any wrong in that one. So that means you need to work all the other alternate skill sets which is involved in taking the or which is involved in critical thinking. Okay, you need to rework on your reasonings. Okay, you need to evolve, okay, all your ideas. That means आपने एक problem solve किया है, some set of the problems, and दूसरा भी problem solve किया है, तीसरा भी problem solve किया है, okay, और आपने एक decision लिया है, दूसरा decision, तीसरा decision, comparison. It is nothing but evaluating. Okay, analyzing is nothing but so एक problem जब solve करता है, क्या क्या facts आपने लिया है उसमें, whatever the information that you gathered. फॉर एग्जाम्पल मैं बहुत वेट हूं, मुझे वेट लॉस करना है. ओके, सो वेट लॉस करना है तो सो व्हाट आर द थिंग्स, इंफॉर्मेशन गैदर करना, सच एज लाइक मुझे तो डाइट भी मेंटेन करना है, नहीं तो अच्छा वेट लॉस लाइक कंसल्टेशन जो भी रहते हैं डॉक्टर्स, उसको कंसल्टेशन करके उसको ओपिनियन लेना है एंड टेक हिज और हर सजेशंस. ओके, एंड जो भी सजेशंस देता है डाइट फॉलो करने के लिए और एक्सरसाइज करने के लिए उसको फॉलो करना है. ओके, एंड वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड कितने टाइम लगता है. ऑल दीज आर द इंफॉर्मेशन एंड व्हेन दे आर गिविंग दी सम काइंड ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन, जब डॉक्टर्स देते हैं उसको एनालाइज करना विच इज द बेस्ट वन. ओके, ऑल दीज आर द गैदरिंग इंफॉर्मेशन एंड एनालाइजिंग आवरसेल्फ, देन पिकिंग विच इज वन राइट वन एंड टेकिंग डिसीजन. मैं इसमें करता हूँ, ये करता हूँ, देन मूविंग टुवर्ड्स दैट. जब जैसे भी आपने वो पर्टिकुलर एक्टिविटी फॉलो करेगा, आपका एंड रिजल्ट में आपको वेट लॉस होगा, दैट मीन आपको प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व होगा. Okay, so these are the other parameters which is included or inculcated within the critical thinking process. Okay, so now to become a like stronger and stronger and great critical thinker, to make proper decisions, correct decisions, right decisions, and to take decisions that where the majority of the people can appreciate and accept. Okay, so few parameters are there where we can concentrate those few questions we need to ask ourselves before we take the decisions. And if you follow those process steps now, so then you will be a great critical thinker. By that you can take right decisions where the majority people can accept and appreciate. So those are here. Okay, so it is talks about like how to improve critical thinking by implementing or following these sequences when we are taking some decisions. Okay, and then you will be become a great critical thinker. So formulate your questions. Okay, it is nothing but so asking so many questions ourselves. You got an email stating that ki आप 5 करोड़ रुपए विन हो गया है.
आपका ये फोटो डालना है
Okay,
ऐसे
because
पैसे
your
डालने
email
हैं।
ID is shortlisted on Coca-Cola. Example बोल रहा हूँ. Fan mail से बहुत आ रहा है अभी. Okay, this kind one false message you got. So and they are asking that कि आपको सिर्फ 5,000 रुपए पे करना पड़ेगा ताकि so आपका अमाउंट आपका अकाउंट में डिस्पैच हो सके. So then you need to think that how this is genuine. उसको accept करना to take the decision to pay 5,000 and to get that money. So ऐसा कोई हो सकता है क्या? So formulate your questions there. So is it true message or the false message? Okay, without doing anything. So can I get the 5 crores amount? Okay, and so you can also like gather the information from your friends. Talk to your friends. Talk to your colleagues who believes you. Okay, so who believes you and आपको कौन अच्छा suggestion दे सके. So you can approach them, your mentors, your guides. Okay, so this is what the things that so I'm going to pay, I'm thinking to pay, so what you suggest. So gather the information. Okay, and gather the information from the internet also. You can get the information. Okay, so first we are formulating questions for ourselves and trying to answer those questions ourselves and through the friends. Then they gathering the information from the various sources. Okay, and thinking through those questions whether this true or the false, is genuine hai or fake hai, to analyzing that piece. Then apply the information in the concept, assumptions, logical thinking. That means analyze the information at your level. Okay, and so jo bhi true hai false hai, okay, you apply that and make a notes of all those things. Then consider the implications. So by that you are getting that ki so conclusion ko aa rahe hai aap. So इतने मेंबर्स ए फॉल्स किया है एंड इंफॉर्मेशन आल्सो यू गॉट एट दैट वैसा नहीं हो सकता है. एंड देयर आर सो मेनी केसेस दैट की पीपल पेड बट वो नहीं आया है. एंड पुलिस डिपार्टमेंट एंड अदर डिपार्टमेंट, सोशल मीडिया also says so many times that ki those kind of all those are the fake news that which comes, and we should not fall into those tricks basically. So we gather the information and we concluded ourselves. So and explore the point of view, others point of view also. Okay, what they think if they are if you are there in their place. Okay, and what could be the negative impacts if you are pay. Okay, agar nahi aaya to kya ho sakta hai, 5,000 will go away. You can't ask to anyone. Okay, aap पूछ नहीं सकते. So there are high chances that you won't get, and you high chances you define that the majority of your thoughts and your observations and your information informing you that that is a false message. Then to take decisions. Okay, so these are the 5 things or the 5 ways, okay, where we can conclude our decision in a right way. Okay, this helps us in terms of improving our critical thinking to take right decisions where the majority people can accept and appreciate to you. Okay, so this is all about critical thinking. And here is the of course the things that what we discussed, like design thinking and the principle of design thinking, process steps to approach the design thinking, and critical thinking and important of the critical thinking, and how to develop the critical thinking. Okay, so it's time for questions. So I'm done from my end. If you have any questions, please ask. Feel free to ask the questions, and I'll help you to understand that. And if not, of course, I'll make a note and come back to you.
Dear participants, if you have any kind of query, please ask. Any question regarding the subject?
Hello, sir. Wish you a very good afternoon.
Yes.
So it was a very excellent session, but I have a question in mind. If you could please elaborate it.
Sure.
My question is, how can design thinking help one to be more innovative? In what way? Please, could you elaborate it?
Sure. So there are things. So design thinking, innovative way, and again. So can you repeat again? Question. Sorry.
My question was, how can design thinking help one to be more innovative? In what way?
Okay. So when we are getting into the other shoes or the problem statements, okay, here we are collecting the information to become an innovative. Okay, to become an innovative, we should get the ideas. Okay, we should create the ideas. We should generate the ideas. So design thinking process allows
Vote
you
of thanks
to
से
do
please
that
करना.
activity, and also allow you to get the more information at the in the initial stage itself. So when you have more questions around the around the problem statement, and going with the questions and asking again and again yourself to solve that particular statement in the various format, in the various groups, so you are getting the ideas. So ideas will help you to move towards the innovative way. Okay, to do some innovation, you should get first idea. Okay, here you are generating through the design thinking process, you are generating as more ideas, so you become better innovator, a great innovator. You can do so many things, and with the ideas that what you got, to give the better experience to the user wherever who are the facing the problem statement. Okay, another thing, at the end also we discussed that key, once you innovative think, you innovated something, you given to the user and taking again feedback as a part of the design thinking process. We are also taking the feedbacks, and we are trying to solve again more, give the more better experience to the user by doing here and there minimizing minimal changes in the product or the activity or the service what we are done or what we are innovated. Okay, when I talk about the again innovation, innovation is not about the only product. अच्छा building बनाना है with the new customizations according to the trend, और अच्छा एक product design करना है. It is not only that, it is also about the service by doing in an innovative way. Okay, and it is also the way that you work. All these are the innovative things basically, so you can think through that all these things. So hope Kushi I answered your query.
Yes, sir, you actually did. And another question, what I would like to ask is that as you very well defined with an example about the girl, so what are the problems which in the practical life of a normal person can solve by the process of design thinking? Like what the design thinking process can help in each and everyone's day-to-day life?
Okay. So as I'm from the rural background, okay, I'm basically from currently at Hyderabad, but I'm from the rural background. I know very well that key. So what are the different problems statements that the girls are facing in today's generation, even today's generation in the rural areas. Okay, not only in the rural areas, in the cities also. So there are so many problems that girls are facing, like going to the jobs, people are not allowed. That means parents or the husbands, and in the majority of the cases that the women ladies that I see that so the initial stage parents are great in terms of, so nowadays parents are of course educated, and they are allowing girls to educate themselves.
Mansi.
But in the majority cases, they are not allowing them to do their likewise job. So whatever they want to do, because so parents has some responsibility that ki so शादी करवाना है तो हमारा काम थोड़ा relief होता है. But it is not, they are thinking that ki so if we are allowed to do an woman to work, so that means they are independent. So they are not dependent. They can do many wonders. They can help their families. Okay. So as you mentioned, Kusi, so I can try to answer your question in a simplified way that ki every girl or every woman need to think their problem statement in a design way, because in the design thinking way, we are getting as many as possible problem statements आ रहा है. That mean if I take an example, एक लड़की को, एक गर्ल को, okay, घर में उसका parents are not allowing to go to the higher studies. What could be the reasons? So define stage में पूरा मैंने, so in empathy stage में मेरा I'll getting into their shoes and I'm understanding in their way. Okay, when I'm understanding their thought process and I'm trying to convey in the other stages में that की ideas generate कर रहा हूँ, उसको मैं कैसे convey कर सकता हूँ, कैसे overcome कर सकता हूँ उस problem statement को, ताकि मेरा पापा मम्मी को मैं अच्छी तरीके से समझा सकता हूँ, और I can make understand my family members in a better way, ताकि they can understand the real world what is outside. Okay, because there could be a chance that they are not aware or they may be feared. उसको fear में outcome कैसा कर सकता हूँ. All these things will help in the process of design thinking. So empathizing, that means collecting information and then define stage. So and objective जो भी मिल रहा है, then you can identify the like ideas, generate the ideas, and I can try it. So एक से बोलो, वो काम किया, then it works. एक को work किया तो second को भी work करेगा. 1 or 2 times बस ज्यादा बोलना पड़ेगा. Okay? Hope I answered, Kushi.
Yes, sir, very well said. As I can remember one thing, the change begins from within. Like if you start, it will be going to start again. Thank you so much, sir.
Thanks, question. So students, do not hesitate to ask the questions. Okay, if you are asking questions, that means you are clearing your doubts. That means you are open-minded. Okay, if you feel or if you try to hesitate yourself, so वो question कितना भी बुरा होने दो, do not hesitate. It's come to your mind and you ask. उसमें गलती नहीं है. Okay, so if you have any questions, you can ask, and if not, that's fine.
Sir, I think there is no more question. Thank you so much.
Sure,
You have shared your exemplary experience of your profession in very simple and lucid language. Thank you so much, sir. Now I would like to call Mansi Daga. Mansi, are you here? Mansi?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Mansi, please propose the vote of thanks for this workshop. Mansi is a student of Department of Self-Learning of BCom first year.
Okay. Hi, Mansi. So, Rupa, and before Mansi goes, I would like to take 1 more minute to thank everyone. So, I can?
Yeah, definitely.
Sure. So, thanks, Rupa, for the approaching and giving this wonderful opportunity for connecting this many of the students. Okay. And sharing my ideas and thoughts, okay, and empowering their knowledge in the design thinking and solving their problems professionally, personally, okay. And I'm very happy and excited that key to share all these things, and very thankful to all your college management and the principal, and so all your colleagues, okay, to providing this opportunity for me, and thanks to everyone, and hope all the students that you enjoyed the sessions and got some bit of awareness on the design thinking and critical thinking, and hope this will helpful for your day-to-day life, solving some set of problems statements that what we or you face in a day-to-day life. Thanks one and all, and thanks a lot to all. Over to Rupa at the Mansi.
Thank you. Mansi, please continue.
Sure. Thank you, ma'am, for this golden opportunity. A very glad good afternoon to one and all. It gave me an immense pleasure to deliver the vote of thanks for this workshop to all the dignitaries assembled over here. So, on behalf of Institution Innovation Council and Department of Commerce of Srimati Radhadevi Goenka College for Women, Akola, Maharashtra, I, Mansi Daga, take this opportunity to propose vote of thanks for online national workshop. I would like to thank distinguished speaker Mr.Boda sir for making an excellent one and bring a meaning of sense to it. Sir has very interestingly defined the topic with an example and by made this workshop really very good. And thanks sir billions and trillions for this session. I am thankful to our Honorable Founder, President Mr.Diliprajji Goenka, sir, President of IIC. I would like to express my deepest gratitude to our Principal, Dr.Devendra Vyas, sir, for his motivational, thoughtful. Also, sincere thank to HOD Commerce, Dr.Ambadas Pande, sir, our convenient IIC, Dr. Rupa ma'am. Surely deserve appreciation for their selfless efforts, her guidance and moral support.